Good afternoon, citizen. Good afternoon, our viewers.
All right. We expect Mayor Akikpelu to join us very shortly. So the show starts now, but then let's go on a little break. We'll be back with you. Thank you.
Coming up in the month of February, on the 2nd of February is the World Wetlands Day, and the 4th of February is the day set aside to create awareness on cancer. On the 6th of February, we turn our attention to the International Day of Zero Tolerance to Female Genital Mutilation. On the 11th of February, we celebrate International Day of Women and Girls in Science. On the 13th of February is the World Radio Day. On the 14th of February is Valentine's Day. On the 17th of February is dedicated as the World Global Tourism Resilience Day. And by the 24th of February, it will be 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. Stay tuned to TVC News as we bring you reports and analysis of these events.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
Oh, I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything.
If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all their demands. A familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
All right, folks, let's go straight to our first story. You know, the MOBO Awards, that's the MOBO Award, we can tell you, is an annual British music award honoring achievements in music of black origin. A female Nigerian act, Oyinkansola Sarah Aderibigbe, whose stage name is Ayra Starr, has made history by becoming the first female to win the Best International Act and first female to win the Best African Music Act in 16 years. Her place as one of Africa's most exciting and promising young artists has become solidified. And so we share the joy and elation of our new star. BKO?
Well, she's not exactly new because in 2022, she came up with the highly successful song, Rush.
Okay.
It was actually Rush that handed her a Grammy nomination, you know.
Okay.
So she's been around for some time, even though she's very young. She's also shown that she has tremendous talent. In the Best International Act category, listen to the people she defeated. Those who are in the running for the same title. She defeated Beyonce, Glorilla, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion.
You don't say?
Yes, they were all in that category. Then in the Best African Music Act category, she defeated Grammy winner Thames, Ashake, Rema, Tyler, BNXN, Ruga, Onku Wefus from South Africa, and King Promise from Ghana. So she is without a doubt one of the best talents on the Nigerian music scene at this time, and age is still very much on our side. And I wish her Godspeed, as you always say.
That's it, yeah. And Mayor, you know, the question, you remember in the good book, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? This is coming out from Nigeria.
Yes, of course. She just won a long list of successful artists that have been putting Nigeria on the world map. When it comes to music and movies, we are undoubtedly the leader in Africa, and we are a major player in the world. And Ayra Starr's success is proof that Don Jazzy is one of the best producers that ever came out of this country.
Okay, okay.
Because she is a protege of Don Jazzy, and it's Don Jazzy that produces and manages her. And it reminds me one advice that I gave the band a long time ago when they were when the Baj was the hottest artist in Nigeria then. We had a show and the band needed to go for one award ceremony. So I learned that they will not come to our show, and I was a bit upset. So my entertainment editor told them that Mayor is not happy. And both of them, Don Jazzy and the band, came to my office. And I remember that in discussion with them, I tried to advise them at that time to say, I was advising the band, to say, the band, you are a big star, but don't ever see a situation where you think you can do without Don Jazzy.
Okay.
That both of you form a good partnership, and that the major part of your success has to do with Don Jazzy. And they said, oh, our relationship is perfect. We don't see ourselves leaving each other. But unfortunately, because the band wanted to break into the American market, and Don Jazzy felt they should stay here.
Okay.
You know, they parted ways, and it affected the career of the band greatly. You know, because that is why you have to give it to Don Jazzy, because after that, he has produced so many artists, and Ayra Starr is his latest protege, and I think he has done exceedingly well, because she's a very young, relatively, not because of her age, even in the industry, she's relatively young. She's been doing good music.
Now, you know, at this stage, she's impressionable, so yes, she needs guidance.
Yes,
you know,
and so that shows that we have so many talents in this country. Apart from musicians, we also have producers who are very talented.
Yeah, broadcasting, as you said, our business here, broadcasting is also like a chain, you know.
Yeah.
So the anchor needs the cameraman, the camera needs the director. It's so like you must yield. It's a teamwork. Because so it's the best can still come.
Yes, I believe that we've not even seen the best of this girl. You know, Don Jazzy gives young people a chance. Don Jazzy saw her video, you know, which she shot on Instagram, and he invited her. The rest is history. Okay. It was the same way that he got Rema. Yeah. Rema was a little boy, under, I think around 17 or so, 18, when he began to sing for Don Jazzy. Today, Rema is one of the biggest stars out of Nigeria. You know? In terms of streaming revenue, he's one of the top stars that we have. So I am confident that we will continue to make progress with these young people, and they will continue to put Nigeria on the world map. In 16 years, this is the first time a female will win the Best African Music Act at the Music of
and
Black
MOBO is
Origin.
huge.
Yes,
MOBO
Music of Black Origin.
Yes.
Because it's Music of Black Origin, even American stars also take part in the award. So it's a tremendous achievement.
One more time, we wish her very well. Okay, to our next story. You know, Kidnap kingpin, Chuku Dimeme Onwamadike, popularly known as Evans, wants to come to equity if it gives his soul peace. He has applied for a plea bargain with the Lagos State government in his ongoing trial. You know, his lawyer, Emefiele, while addressing the court, admitted that his client was a young man consumed by crime, but is now a repentant person. He is penitent. He revealed that Evans scored A's in all his papers in the NECO examination, and is now a 200-level student of the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN. He has offered to surrender all his ill-gotten property as part of the plea bargain. if the court considered his plea on compassionate grounds.
That is, to me, that's arrant nonsense. Why is it arrant nonsense? People may not know it. Evans is one of the biggest kidnappers ever. Tucci and the others have, yes, they have a lot of soldiers and all that. But this is a man who was collecting minimum of $1 million per the person that they kidnapped. And he was kidnapping people that were known to him.
Oh, yeah.
They were known to him, businessmen, because he has this logistics company. So he was able to know when your goods have arrived and when you've done things. And then he now has a set of fully armed people who attack these people. In the course of doing this kidnapping, they've killed people. In fact, one of these major transporter who escaped, they killed his orderly, they killed the driver. They've killed so many people. They've injured so many people.
Yeah.
That, so how can you now come and say that you won't play bargain? You are repentant. You want to give up your property. It's just that the will of justice,
which were property which were not yours
in the first place, which was because if you look at it, $1 million is over 1.7 billion.
Okay.
And that is what this guy was collecting from each person that he kidnapped. And for the people that came to trial, more than 8 of them that are traders within that world of angle. So how can you come now and say that you are repentant? What about those people that you have killed? What about the trauma that you made a lot of people go through? I think it should be brought to justice. This is not the issue of that you are repentant. That is, repentance is for God. It's for people that want to go to heaven.
It's the ultimate.
Yes, it should be made to pay for his crime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because at a time like this, you look at the accused. You consider what he has done.
But I have no pity for him at all. If he likes, let him bag all the degrees in the world. We are told now that it's in 200 level, he's called ace in NECO and all that. Even 15-year-olds score better grades in not just NECO, in the school certificate, West African school certificate exam, they go abroad, they excel. So he's trying to curry the favor of Nigerians after taking people's lives. He has cases even outside Lagos. So when they're trying to give the feeling that, oh, this thing is limited to Lagos. He kidnapped people outside of Lagos and he has cases, multiple cases.
Wow.
So he's supposed to actually go to multiple, he's supposed to suffer multiple convictions, and each of those convictions will be life imprisonment, if not death, minimum. So this is not the time to try to play on our emotions.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say to families of his victims? They will live with that trauma for the rest of their lives. The best we can give them is to ensure that justice is served. Justice has been served. He's been put in the slammer all the while. But there are other cases pending. So it's like you committed offense in Edo State, you committed in Imo. You will be tried in all of those places. You are not going to. There's no way they will consolidate those cases because they originate from different jurisdictions.
Yeah.
So he should stop, his lawyer should stop disturbing us about the fact that, oh, he's studying political science now. If he like, let him study aeronautic engineering. People are not bothered. He is one of the people who opened people's eyes to the quantum of money in kidnapping.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Before now, we never had of billionaire kidnappers. People who kidnap, just a little money that they will take and leave you alone. He was the one who started the art of kidnapping people and asking to be paid in foreign currency.
In foreign currency.
Because he was not just kidnapping small people. He was kidnapping billionaires. You know? And he had gadgets, dozens of gadgets, so many phones. It was extremely difficult for the police to track him. And on the day they actually got him in that is Magodo residence, it was good riddance to bad rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
The police were relieved. Nigerians were generally relieved. People, his neighbors did not actually know that that was what he was doing because he kept perfectly to himself. Today, they are singing a new tune. You see, because we suffer from national amnesia.
Amnesia, yeah.
We easily forget the past. People who brought us down. Within a short time, Nigerians will be hailing them. They've forgotten. That is what his lawyer is trying to do now. Believing that, oh, at this time, not many people still think about him anymore. But the victims, the family members of the victims cannot forget.
Yeah.
And they will never forget a country that allows a man who killed innocent people to get away. They will never forget. That's not even how to build a nation.
Mayor, I remember a little Yoruba here. I hope it helps. I'll try a translation. The Yorubas say, "Ashekpamo lowa, ashegbeosi," loosely meaning you may hide a wrongdoing, but you could never get away with it.
Absolutely. Because, and in his own case, it was because at that time we had the Super Cup who has problem now.
Okay.
And who is behind bars now.
Yeah.
He was the one that was able to track him. It took the Nigerian police years. They could not track him because he has a lot of phones. And he doesn't use that thing. And the way, even his way of life, ironically, he used to do his nails. He used to do his manicure and pedicure where I used to do mine. In fact, the same person used to do it for us. And when he was arrested, they were telling me that, oh, you didn't remember the guy, because when he wants to come and do his nails, he comes in and tell them to do it quickly. He doesn't spend more than 15, 20 minutes. He will tell them not to do so much time. He doesn't talk to anybody. He will just come in and do that and give people a lot of money and leave. And people used to wonder that there's something about this guy because he won't talk to anybody till he leaves there. And it was you, but luckily, why they were able to trace him was that because when they got one of his girlfriends, the one that because there was a particular phone, all these local, not the major, because there was a friend of ours who works with one, let's say, major, who the Super Cup called and said, this number, we can't seem to know what the telecom company do that. That help us confirm from your people which telecom company uses this. And then the person spoke to the MD of that one, who now told them that, oh, they should get in touch, that it was one of these smaller telecommunication companies. So they got in touch with that MD, and they were able to trace him to Magodo.
Wow.
Without that, he would have escaped. In fact, he was about to escape to Ghana. Because he knew now that they were closing on him because they were able to identify one of his girlfriends that caused that problem. If not, it was invisible for about 7-8 years. And the police could not even have been found out about the thing. And he kept doing it. And not only that, he was so mean because he had different gangs. Because when they arrested his boy, they were saying that he was able to it was impossible to trace him because he had different gangs. So each gang does not really know who the real top boss was.
Yes. That was his trick.
Yes, they just knew the commander
They didn't have direct access.
They don't have direct access to him.
Which means if they catch them, they may not be able to take them to him
because they those armed gangs, they have their own boss who leads them to do operations. So he just informed them that go to this person, go to that person. So how can that? It was a very mean, one of the vicious kidnappers. So how can he say one
gentlemen,
baggage?
do you know that kidnapping is the other name for armed robbery?
Yes,
only
of course.
that you don't shoot too many bullets.
So they are even more wicked than armed robbers. They are more wicked than armed robbers. Okay, look at. I was listening to one audio clip of a kidnapper negotiating with the family of a victim, and he was asking for 100 and something million, and they said, we don't have this money. So they pleaded. They said, okay, can you reduce this thing? They've already sold their plot of land.
Hi.
This guy was just saying, no, it has to be 50 or nothing. That look,
Hi.
I have fired him 1 bullet. I still have more. So the guy was fired in the buttocks, so that when he's talking to his relations, he will tell them the pain he's going through. So that they will now do something urgently. But the kidnapping thing, the meanness with which these guys operate makes me think that we should declare a national emergency on kidnapping.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Whatever we need to do to smash these guys, we need to do it. Because
but BKO, know
so
that
many lives are being lost. Do you know that sometimes they will kidnap somebody who is permanently on drugs, maybe
Okay.
a diabetic patient,
Okay.
and he won't have access to his drugs. In the process, he will die.
And they will still collect the money.
They will collect the money.
will lie that
there
the
is a
guys-
guy, a journalist, who told me that they collected money 2 times on his dad, only for them to tell them to go to so place and pick up your dad. It was his remains that they picked up there.
Oh, boy.
They would know that the person is dead, or yet they will. I've
still
never
collect the
seen
money.
people as mean as these
How can
boys.
the- how can I
You know,
use your
when
glasses
you-
for-
And somebody will now be talking
you-
of
you
this. Please,
just-
let's
leave
just
back
leave
You
that
just
matter.
spoke now,
Leave back in
BKO
court.
just spoke now about a national emergency. My state, Akwa Ibom, has criminalized kidnapping to the point of making it a capital offense.
That's
More and more
Many
states are
states.
doing it.
So,
More and more
that's
states are
actually-
doing it.
but I'm waiting to see the first kidnapper.
You see, part of the problem is that
Who-
our
yeah.
governors are not showing enough courage to sign all these debts.
Even if they
Well,
sentence people to death, they
Yes,
don't
when they
sign.
send it
Yeah.
to that, they don't do that. Because you see, it is important.
And only the governor can sign a death
Only,
warrant.
yes, only the
not
governors.
the
And they are not
president.
doing it. They are not signing it. I don't know why. They are not signing it. But they need to do that because
Many of them
when
say,
people know,
say they don't want
when
blood
people
on
know that
their
they can
hands.
get away with something,
Oh, yeah.
they will do
But
it.
you can send talks to go and kill people.
Crime should have
Maybe
consequences.
they killed somebody in Osun the other day.
Yes, yeah.
Is it not politicians that send them to go and kill
Yeah.
them? You can send people to kill your political opponents, but you cannot sign death warrant. It's the height of hypocrisy.
It is. It is. Well, I know that Evans, the story of Evans would split opinion. It's natural.
It's not our business whether it's
Let the
it
debate
should not-
continue.
It should not
but-
be free.
But mine is simple. If you commit an offense,
You pay for it.
pay for it because that's what the law says.
Yes.
All right.
Bam.
Let's go to our next story. In a bizarre twist of circumstance, Bauchi State has come face to face with witchcraft. I'm sure you heard that. A perceived facility to summon evil spirits and demons to do harm to others. The chief judge of Bauchi State, Justice Rabi Talatu Umar, has expressed concern and alarm over rising cases bordering on witchcraft. She has cautioned judicial officers in the state against such cases, describing them as difficult to prove and often lacking concrete evidence. As far as Justice Rabi Umar is concerned, it takes a witch to know one, BKO.
You know, according to her, unless someone confesses willingly to witchcraft, it's difficult for you to prove that someone is a witch. It's difficult. And I also think that
how
in
do
the
you start
modern
it?
age, I also think that in the modern age, witchcraft is gradually receding into memory. Some of the things that they used to do, we really don't hear of those things these days. You know, people sleeping, witches coming to press the person down, sit on his head. You know, all of those things that they did to our fathers and forefathers generally. Those things are not common anymore. You know, so it's gradually receding. A time will come when you will not hear of witchcraft anymore. But criminalizing it, taking people to court on account of that is problematic. That is the point that this judge is making. How do you
start?
How do you prove it? And if somebody is convicted on account of it, it may damage the credibility of the judiciary because it will then mean that you convicted someone wrongly. Because there is no empirical evidence that you can hold on to that someone is a witch.
Bewitching you.
That someone is a witch, has done kill people here, kill people. You cannot prove it's not scientific in nature. So if somebody steps forward and says he's a witch or she's a witch, then you can take it from there. Even that. How do you then, what kind of charges are you going to, how do you file a charge against that person? What are you going to be talking about? And you go to court, what are you going to be arguing about? We have far more important issues to deal with in our country than to be taking people before our busy law courts to discuss how you can convict people for witchcraft. I believe that our courts wouldn't be saddled with that.
Mayor, you remember there had been this talk about bewitching and so on. And a friend said, do you know that Oyibo man that makes me to talk to you, you are in London, I speak to you.
It's also witchcraft.
That is
course, that's witchcraft.
So why can't Africa practice that?
Our problem, you see, our problem has to do with ignorance.
And poverty of the intellect.
I agree that there are esoteric forces, but the concept of witchcraft is nonsense. And it's because of ignorance. A lot of people have been traumatized and victimized because somebody will just wake up and say this person is a witch. And people will start beating the person.
Oh, yeah.
And they will, and you will see a young child. They will say, oh, the child is a witch, or the child is an Ogbanje.
You remember my state, Akwa Ibom, and
yes,
Cross
it
River,
happened.
very
Yes.
notorious.
Oh, that the
Yes,
child is an
stories like
Ogbanje, or the child is a witch. It's just ignorance. Because let us not forget that proud to people like Mary Slessor, everybody felt multiple parts. It's witchcraft.
All right,
that if you have a twins,
gentlemen, there's a Felix reaching us from Umuahia in Abia State. So, Felix, are you there? Welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, I greet you. Welcome.
Hello?
Go on. We can hear you.
oh, shit.
If we activate your line, just know you're on air. You know,
when we
go
were
ahead.
back in the olden days, there was witchcraft. I can testify to the fact that there was witchcraft.
Una people get.
Just as your own people get to. There was witchcraft. There was witchcraft. A man will be sleeping at night. He will see the image of someone that looks like his mom. But it's actually the enemy of his mother that has put on that image of his mom. And that person will be tormenting him, sit on his face. And they will be hearing all kinds of sounds and all that. So there was traditional remedy for it in those days.
Okay.
After a while, that person stops coming because the person who is not allowed to sleep, who is tormented, will start losing weight. You feel the impact of the torment that is going through in the hands of witches.
And science cannot explain that.
Yes. Just people do juju now, you see juju working. The white man cannot come and explain why that juju is working. We are Africans. But I'm saying that as we go on, a lot of those things are fading away.
Oh, yeah.
And those babas who are doing juju to hurt people, many of them did not even pass it on to their children.
Thankfully.
Because they look at today's children as very dangerous.
Oh, yes.
People putting magun, or what is called thunderbolt, on their girlfriends.
That's juju, not witchcraft.
No, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of African traditional.
Of course, that's what I said. I will agree that.
No, I don't just want you to say that witchcraft is nonsense as if it does not exist.
No, I'm not saying. No, what I'm saying.
So because elderly people who have been victim of it will be looking at us. What are we saying?
I'm not saying that there's no juju or there is no spiritual forces. That's why when I started, I agree that there are esoteric forces.
Do people have this thing?
They have to, because what is the word witchcraft is not our invention now.
Like this TV where we did. Now juju.
No. Even they have what they call witches then. If you remember in Macbeth, they always had that. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that there's no there's no spiritual forces. No. What I'm saying is that a lot of people have been accused wrongly because sometimes when they cannot explain certain things,
and they will kill
attribute
them.
it to witchcraft. That's what I said before. They used to kill somebody.
They stone
for
people
having
to death
twins.
now.
Yes.
And the law cannot take on it from
So we should not
time.
even now take it to a ridiculous extent where you want to take people like
You
that
now
to
charge
court.
people to court for
I mean,
witchcraft.
how do you
How
do
do
that?
you prove it?
How do you
That's the
prove
thing. That's the point that
I'm a
she's
witch? I
making.
came
No,
to
no,
see you
it
about
takes a witch to know
I'm
one.
not. The woman is not saying that there is no witchcraft.
No, it's
she
not.
cannot
Yeah,
say
she's
that.
not saying that.
Yeah.
But she's saying you cannot prove it.
Prove it, yeah.
You can't prove it, and if you cannot prove it, how do you then convict someone over what you've not successfully proved? So I think that's the point she's making. That
She's making,
and to preserve the image of the judiciary, let's not go into these cases.
Yeah,
And she's saying,
yeah.
don't entertain such cases because you won't be able to prove it. That is the.
It's like going around in circles.
Yeah, but she cannot say there is no witchcraft.
Yeah.
If she says that, those older than her will come and prove to her that indeed there is witchcraft. There is.
No, we're not saying that there's witchcraft. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people have used that to as a
course.
tag to oppress so
over
many
time.
innocent people.
Well,
Because
dear,
of the
dear
current
viewer,
alternatives.
our business is to give context and clarity to any story that comes before us. All right, then, let's go to our next story. You know, the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, may not be out of the woods yet. Justice Yelim Bogoro of the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of $4.7 million, 830 million naira, and multiple assets linked to him. Now, the said funds were held in named banks and managed by individuals, including a certain Omoile Anita Joy and other companies. There are many companies. To the High Court judge, these assets and funds were proceeds of unlawful activities which are bound to be forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria, Mayor.
I have no sympathy for Mr. Emefiele. I think he wronged Nigerians, and it's even more annoying that while he was making us to go through all kinds of things in the name of
When he was at the helm.
Yes, when he was at the helm, in name of this naira change and all that, he was also stealing our national patrimony, because the money we are talking about, $4.7 million, is a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
830 million. And then don't forget that a lot of houses were also attributed to him that was forfeited. So somebody that was dipping his hands into the national till was now grandstanding at that time, telling us that he was initiating programs that were very, very mean to Nigerians.
Were you
because
surprised?
I remember the time.
Were you surprised when you saw vehicles when he attempted? Well, the vehicles came out bearing.
Okay, when he wanted to run for president.
Run for president. Were you
No,
surprised?
that one, he was scammed. He was scammed in the sense that he was scammed in the sense that
By smart Alex.
by smart people. Some people convinced him that he could be president when they knew that it was almost impossible. That I know. Some people convinced him that he could be president. And somebody that was serving governor of Central Bank,
what I call sometimes
believe that
the
they could actually-
37th governor.
In fact, before he stopped, he actually went to court to confirm whether he has the right to run or not.
Oh yes, oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
He wanted
those people
clarification.
So those people who are just smart Alex convinced him that, oh, why not? You have what it takes. In fact, Nigeria need a technocrat, not politician, so you can be president. And there were resources were put together, and those vehicles, and not only vehicles, there were a lot of adverts. So that one was they just played on.
Perchance, if he became one.
It couldn't have been. It's not possible. He was not even a member of the party. It was not. Anybody that could see will know that it was virtually impossible for him to become president or to even become the candidate of the party.
Okay.
But some people, like I said, some smart people were able to convince him. And you know, sometimes when you get used to money and power, you understand, you start seeing yourself.
You don't know when to stop.
Yes, you start seeing yourself more than who you really are. So it's easy for people to massage your ego and try to convince you that you are not, you are what you are not.
So it is true after all when they say, if you want to know a man, give him money and power.
And power, that's when you really know who the man is, yes. Because when you don't have money or power, you are not really, people cannot really judge what you can do.
The real you.
The real you. Well, because you see, money and power, what it makes, it turns you to, especially when you get used to money and power. That is why you see some people in position of authority, they will do some certain things, and people will wonder, oh, why this sudden change? Why the guy has now become this powerful or not so caring like he used to be? Because by the time you are used to money or you are used to power, because money gives you power. By the time you are used to power, you start seeing yourself as if you are, if I'm not only seeing yourself, the majority of those around you will try to deceive you that you are really more than who you are.
BKO, how do you weigh in here?
Yeah, I think Emefiele has come out to say, oh, he has disowned those assets. He said it belongs to a relation. But the same way that he tried to disown those 700 and something duplexes.
Yeah.
This must be the greediest CBN governor in Nigerian history. In addition to being the worst CBN governor. Some people don't like it when we say it. Because as far as they are concerned, he has even done no wrong. The only person who has done wrong is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the wisdom of some people, deluded people.
Yeah.
This fellow acquired all kinds of ill-gotten wealth using proxies. And even when they raided his house, they found some documents linking that enabled the EFCC to trace
some of those assets.
Some of those assets. Now, if you say that you are not the owner and nobody comes out to claim those because they know they will go to jail, it's even what we want. Thank God. Nobody has come out, because before the court will make an order of permanent forfeiture, they will have waited for anybody to come out to say, look, this thing that you are saying belongs to, that you are looking for the owner.
Yeah,
and it's not a proceed of crime.
Yeah.
I remember when the EFCC claimed that Fayoshe had a filling station in my area, Nakute area. The owner came out to say, no, so this filling station belongs to me. They were looking for what Fayoshe owned, and they now listed filling station in. Even if Fayoshe does not know what he's doing, do you know where that filling station is located? Is even a run-down part of my area. So Fayoshe will now be so out of his mind that he will now go and be acquiring filling station in a run-down part of
town.
It's not even town. It's a run-down part of a rural
environment,
community or environment. The man, the owner of the filling station, came out and said, you know, I use my money, this filling station belongs to me. Remove your so-called, what you have pasted on our wall here, it belongs to me. All of these things that they are discovering, nobody is showing up to say it belongs to him.
Yeah.
In any case, if you claim that more than 750 duplexes belong to you, you must prove that it was not the proceeds of crime that you used to
erect them,
to build it.
Yeah.
How did you?
That's huge.
It's huge.
That's massive.
I don't think Nigerians know the extent of the findings that the EFCC made. We just dismissed it because we are extremely emotional and political. It was a huge find.
Yeah.
753 duplexes. If we get a quantity surveyor or a valuer to put value to
how will be in trillions.
It's a lot of money.
More than
linked to an individual. Linked to an
More than
individual.
the country's budget.
No,
estimate.
no, it can't be. Let's not do that. They will accuse us of exaggerating.
Okay.
But the thing is, I know that this will not be the last. They will still find some.
Oh, yeah.
If you enrich your family members, if you enrich your friends, you know, indirectly, at the end of the day, those things will still be found because there are people who are watching you. In any case, you cannot do all these things without some people even having record of what you are doing.
Yeah.
And when the time comes, they will provide evidence.
Because some people assisted you in doing those things.
Yes, you can't do it alone.
Mayor BK, we just talked about fine gentlemen who had been governors of Central Bank. I recall now, not because he came from my part of the country. Clement Isong was governor of the Central Bank.
Sanusi?
He was governor of the bank when we had a war and we didn't borrow money. But go to his village, the house we build, it's, you know.
Because you see, I used to tell people, Nigeria used to be very good.
Oh, yes.
Even when we criticized our leaders that they were corrupt, what we saw as corruption then was just nothing. A child's play, was nothing.
Compared to what we see now.
Compared to what we see now.
For instance, when you remember the former minister of Shagari, what's his name, Umar Diko?
Yeah.
400,000 naira. People said, "It crazy. Who you want to spend the money with?"
Because at that time, do you know, at that time, Akinloye wanted to do a party, and they went into a supermarket and just put his photograph on it. Because at that time,
people didn't say.
At that time, we still have values. People first scandalized that, oh, this guy wanted to do a party, and they had to go and do a special campaign for him, which you can do. You just walk into any supermarket and they will do it for you. Because at that time, we still had values. So people feel scandalized anytime they see something that is wrong. But now, they've shocked us to...
We also had a Joseph...
Nothing shocks us anymore.
Yes, they put us to a station where when you hear things, everybody will just... Because let me tell you something.
As late Delegiwa said, we have been shocked to a state of unshockability. So
yes, because now, if you can recover over 700 duplexes from somebody, and we felt everybody just...
No, people are just living like it didn't happen.
It is normal, it is okay. 7 duplexes. Over 700.
Yes. They don't even know. And in Abuja.
In Abuja, when you look at that environment, when you look at properties in Abuja, the value of properties in Abuja, and you look at over 700,
a plot.
That's a huge estate.
Cost of a plot.
That's a huge estate. And they could and they attributed
and
it to
the place was
person.
earmarked for mass housing program.
And you can get that from one person. So they
can steal the country completely. They can steal the country completely.
We discussed it here, even in the outgone week. BKO told us about civil servants in Abuja owning.
Yes.
Oh, of course. They used to own Abuja. Civil servants used to own Abuja.
A civil servant had more than 80 exotic cars. Most of them jeeps and bulletproof.
When it is not a car lot.
Yes, and they discovered that place and all of those vehicles, jeeps, Prados, and the rest of them. Till today, that person was not jailed. So it will shock Nigerians by story of theft. It's difficult.
Okay.
It's like we have developed thick skin. You cannot shock us anymore. Yeah. If a country can discover that much, 700 and something duplexes, and if we see the quality of those buildings, come on, one person, because you were CBN governor, all of this happened. I mean, it's just and you cause people to suffer. Many people lost their businesses because of the shitty Naira repainting exercise that they carried on, misled the president.
Who will forget that?
Made us to suffer greatly.
Some people forget. Some people have not recovered.
Personally, I cannot forgive him because when we were discussing at that time, I shared my experience of going to the bank to collect cash, and they told me that, we don't have cash now, we'll call you so that when we have cash, we'll come. And they called me and said I should come around 6 o'clock. There were so many people there. They said we should wait so that people can leave. And when they wanted to now pay cash, they paid me. They said they would give me 10,000 naira. I almost cried. And I asked and I said, oh, you called me to come and wait in the bank for 10,000 naira. And they were saying, no, we don't have the card. Okay, let's just give you 20,000 naira. That's what the guy turned us to with nonsense programs that he was doing.
Yes.
We didn't know that he was even stealing so much money
Yes.
as
He was
governor
stealing
of
so
Central
much.
Bank.
Yeah, and he wanted to run away from Nigeria.
No, no.
All right,
I don't have sympathy for him.
we have an intervention. Abbas Abdul Kadir is reaching us from Kaduna. From Abuja, yeah.
Abuja.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm there. Oh, this is my program. I don't miss it.
All right, go on,
Thank you,
sir.
Brian.
Yes, I miss it in my state, but now I don't miss it. I tell you. For this program, God will bless you people.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
I made a mistake before. I did not vote for Shuadu. But now, it's God that brings me.
Thanks.
It's God. Let me tell you, Wallahi Talai, is God that bring this man. God that bring this man. Almighty Allah, people, Nigerians, should allow him to perform this duty. His reform is what Nigerians need. Nigeria, maybe Nigerians don't need it, but Nigeria needs it. We have been crying. We have been crying. This is the time we should be like this tax reform.
Yes.
If we can implement it, and this regional something, if we can implement it, I know that 2027, Allahu Akbar, nobody, no human being born by a woman, no human being that is a Nigerian that have seen what we are suffering.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you,
you,
sir.
Kadri.
I tell you.
Thank you very much. Well, it's natural, you know.
Yeah,
Things
it is.
like this
It
will
is.
split opinion.
It is.
But again, they say those who want to come to equity must do so with clean hands. When you see the immediate past CBN governor clutching a big Bible
King-size Bible.
into
No,
court,
you see, God is a very merciful God, and we take
Very patient.
and
and
patient.
and patient God, and we take advantage of Him. When people,
but he's not fooled.
when people are doing their thing, you understand? They don't remember
don't
God.
remember God.
They don't remember God. They enjoy themselves. They do all kinds of things. They show power. I remember one time
nobody notices
Emefiele
when things go right.
Emefiele was not
Yes.
only when Emefiele was not only in government but in power, and he was telling us how powerful he was. He was even saying some people were criticizing him and said, "If you want to fight me, come out,
fight.
let's fight."
As if he was.
That's what I'm saying. When he was
He
feeling
was
cool,
Mike Tyson.
he was feeling cool with himself at that time. But when he now ran into a problem, he suddenly remember God. And because, for example, it's hypocrisy. You can come to court without clutching a big Bible.
Oh, yeah.
You can read the
Bible that big.
in your cell or something.
Even on your phone.
You understand? You can. I'm not saying you should not be religious or get
not be
closer
by
to your
size of
God,
Bible.
but not by the size of the Bible and bringing the Bible to court. What does that show? It's hypocrisy. You just
Kálẹ̀ mọ̀ pé jàpá lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì.
God knows that. You see, that's why God knows. When we run into problem, we now suddenly remember God, and we now
remember the place of God
remember the
in
place
our
of God
lives.
in our lives. We now carry this big Bible and try to deceive ourselves. Carrying Bible to me does not change anything.
It amounts to nothing.
You have been accused of certain things. Defend yourself.
Your church is your mind.
If
That's
you are
what
not-
Thomas
if you
Paine
find
said.
guilty,
Yeah,
yes.
Thomas
And your
Paine,
church
yeah.
is your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are found guilty, then you pay the price for what you have done. That's it.
All right. So again, for the umpteenth time, let me say it: if you commit a crime, you must pay the price.
Yes.
As simple.
Don't
as
deceive
it
us
is.
with Bible.
All right. Let's go to our next story. You know, a morbid criminal is who he truly is. A person that's very interested in very unpleasant things, especially death. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji fits the bill here. The hardened bandit has imposed a levy of 22 million naira on 4 villages in Sokoto State over the killing of one of his men in a military operation in the area. The 4 villages include Garin Idi, I hope I got that right, the hometown
Garin
of
Idi.
the Garin Idi is the hometown of the incumbent deputy governor of the state, Idris Gobir. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has vowed that the army would go after Turji, as his days are numbered. BKO.
Yes, this boy has been harassing not just the Nigerian people, but the Nigerian army for some time. And they've been able to kill some of his lieutenants.
Yeah.
They've been able to lay hands on his armorer, but it's been elusive so far because he understands the Zamfara, Sokoto terrain very well.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually from Shinkafi.
Oh, really?
But he does not stay in one place. He's very mobile. Okay. Yes, he's from Shinkafi local government. He does not stay in one place. He moves around. So they found it difficult to pin him down. But I believe that just the same way they've been able to kill Boderi and some of the bandit leaders, especially in Kaduna State, they are going to get him. Because, look, as I've said in the past, he is not necessarily the most dangerous.
Okay.
But because he tried to give himself publicity by shooting videos the way Shekau used to do, then he unwittingly drew attention to himself. There are more dangerous bandits operating in the Northwest than Bello Tuji. There's a bandit leader in Zamfara that is more dangerous than Bello Tuji in terms of the number of people that he has killed, in terms of the regularity with which they carry out attacks in his own area. But people don't talk about them as much as they talk about this boy because of the fact that he shot a video and is constantly talking and all that. So the people have been going through hell in his hands. They must pay levy before they can access their farms. If they don't pay, they risk losing their lives. Now, because one of his own boys was killed now, he's now gone to impose levy on the people that they must pay if they want peace. What the army can do is to intensify their efforts to get rid of him. We don't even need him to be arrested.
Okay.
These guys do not deserve to live with us. Bandits, especially bandits in northern Nigeria, they are not human beings. Honestly, in terms of the way some of them are hard-nosed negotiators. Because when somebody kidnaps an individual and they tell you that they've tried their best, they've sold their cars, they've sold their houses, and they can only find a fraction of what you're asking for, these boys will still hold on to that person. Or sometimes they will even take the life of the person. What they now do, what these boys now do is they sell, kidnap people to other gangs, which will make life more difficult for families of victims. If they sell to another gang, it means that what those ones will ask for by way of ransom
that's going
will
from,
be higher than
from
what...
frying pan to fire.
Yes, that's what they are doing now. So the bigger bandits are able to even buy victims from the smaller bandits. People like Bello Tuji have some smaller guys working for them. If they kidnap those ones, they will now hand them over to Bello Tuji, and Bello Tuji will... That was what Shekau was trying to do with the government science secondary school, Kankara boys in Katsina.
Okay.
He was negotiating. But the Katsina authorities and the military were lucky that they were able to close their negotiations on time. If they had handed those kids over to Shekau,
it would have been good night.
It would have been. When I said at that time that Shekau was the mastermind of the Kankara kidnap, one of the spokespersons of the former administration was abusing me. He went on Twitter. Ignorant people. He was abusing me. Invariably, we got to know. It was public knowledge, invariably, that Shekau was... Even Shekau announced that he worked with those people. Shekau actually owned, he took responsibility for the kidnap and said he was working with those people. But I said it earlier, and the guy thought I was lying, that, oh, this. I said, if Shekau was not the mastermind, he would not claim it. All they wanted to do at that time was show to us that, oh,
draw attention to themselves.
That Boko Haram has not gone all the way to the northwest and north central. But we saw with even the kidnap of the train passengers that it was Boko Haram that organized it. Speaking for government is not simply an opportunity for you to abuse people and say, oh, this one does not make any sense. At the end of the day, how do you feel when what you are denying didn't happen becomes known to the whole world?
Of course, as we say, everybody is entitled to his opinion, but everybody is not entitled to his facts.
Don't dismiss opinions expressed by people who have chosen to seek information on a matter that you know next to nothing about. It's not in every case that you must support the government.
All right, folks, we'll go on a commercial break now. We'll return shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
And cable, great quality, now with the new look.
Okay, folks, welcome back. We were talking about Belluturgi, the errant bandit giving us trouble.
Yes, I am. It's so sad that Turji is still this powerful. Because, you know, at a time, both the National Security Advisor and the Minister of State for Defense gave us assurances that they were on his trail and that very soon they were going to liquidate him. And the guy has been evasive for a long time now. And I want to appeal to our security forces that they have to double their efforts, because the guy has committed so many atrocities, and the state singularly, it was mentioned, both the National Security Advisor and the Minister of State for Defense actually mentioned him to say, look, we are closing in on him. And they recorded some successes because they were able to get some of his commanders and people close to him. But you see, but to come back and put a levy on villages is, let me just say, it's unacceptable. You know, because apart from inconveniencing those people,
they kidnapped some people and
yes,
they asked for ransom.
Apart from
they killed his one of his aides.
Yes.
So
he
he's
wants
fighting
to
back.
punish them for
So yes, but you see, because my problem now is that apart from the inconveniences to those villagers, they won't be able to access their funds, and they have to now look for money to pay. It's like thumbing your nose towards our government to say, look, you guys said you want to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm still around. and I'm in charge. I don't think we should accept that. I
Well,
don't think we should accept that.
The army
I
chief
know,
has
I know they
given-
are doing their best. I know the army they're doing their best, but they should put more effort. We must not allow anybody to take the Nigerian state for granted.
We must call his bluff.
Yes, we must call that bluff.
Enough is already too much.
Because already they mentioned that they were closing in on him.
Yeah.
And like I said, National Security Advisor mentioned his name to say, look, this particular person, we are closing in on him and we are going to get him. And then for him to now come back and now impose levies, it's like he's telling government to say that, you know, it's not a matter of you want to close in and kill me. I'm still going to make life more miserable for your people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that is acceptable.
Yeah.
And you know, any time that it appears that the military is closing in on them, they start talking about amnesty. At a point, he was asking for it.
Yeah.
You know, so that is usually an opportunity for them to buy time and even arm themselves the more. So what we are being told now by the member representing Sabombrini West constituency in the House of Assembly of Sokoto State is that Bello Tuji has actually shifted base to the eastern part of Issa local government. This Issa local government is located close to the border with Niger Republic. You know, Niger Republic, as I've said in the past, is like a failed state.
All right.
Many parts are not.
Sorry.
Many parts of Niger Republic are not inhabited by the soldiers.
Okay.
People just do what they like there. So if you are attacking him, you can move into one of those villages in Niger Republic and hide.
Of course, as you said, he knows the terrain.
Of course, both states, Zamfara and Sokoto, is operating freely.
We have company now. Tunde is reaching us from up north. So, Tunde, are you there? Welcome.
Good afternoon.
I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Yes. Abajide and Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to your conversation this afternoon, and I so much love your assertions. What is there about the issue of Toji? That guy ought to be eliminated by all means. He has caused so many havocs, so many destructions, that he ought not to be pitied at all. You know, like Babajide is saying, he knew the terrains of all the nook and crannies of the jungle in North Central and the Northwest. And this is the reason why any terrorist that is caught need not to be rehabilitated by any government. They need to be eliminated. You know, Babajide will be on my side on this issue. You see, until when you have a good deterrence, this boy doesn't soften pedal. They feel recruiting young ones and giving them drugs and then molesting women in the jungle is the only way out for them to live. And they are only making caricature of Nigerian government. They ought to go out and eliminate this guy in the jungle.
Okay.
I know the chief of army staff is no nonsense man, but like Mayor has already said, they ought to double up their efforts to make sure that this guy doesn't hold this country to ransom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
So I was trying to talk about some of the things that they had done. On January 10, 2025, Bello Tuji killed 2 kidnapped victims from Issa local government after receiving ransom. Then there is Amsa Surudubu, a suspected gun runner and arms carrier supplying weapons to Bello Tuji and others operating in the Northwest, was arrested. So it was a breakthrough to arrest somebody who takes weapons to him. And he was going to deliver those weapons at the time to Tuji in a place called Tuji and 2 other bandits, Halilu Buzu and one Boka. at the time when this guy was arrested.
Okay.
So
Okay.
our security forces, they are trying their best given the resources at their disposal. But we can't continue to have these notorious bandits harassing our people, telling our people to pay. In fact, they said he actually asked for 25 million, but they begged him and they agreed to 22, you know. So how much longer are we going to tolerate Bello Turji behaving in this manner? Because those places, you know, the north is by nature very expansive. It is difficult to cover, for the armed forces to cover every blade of grass in the whole of the northeast. So he knows that already, and all he does is move from place to place. I knew when he was in his home local government, Oshinkafi. Today, we are being told that he has moved to Sokoto. Once they notice that there is too much bombardment in a particular area,
Okay. They shift
because
base.
Zamfara is the epicenter of banditry.
Okay.
When bandits kidnap people, even in Niger, they sometimes will take them all the way to Zamfara. When they kidnapped the boys in Kankara, Katsina State, they took them to Safe local government in Zamfara. The school children who were kidnapped, this Muslim, what do they call them?
Almajiris?
No, they are not Almajiris, the ones that the Yorubas call Omolekeu. I don't know what to call that in English. They picked them up in Tegin and Niger State. It was in Zamfara that they eventually took those children to. So a lot of the bandits leaders, they are actually from Zamfara. Okay. So that place is like the capital of banditry. Now, because we focus so much on bombarding the Zamfara area, these boys are able to move to other places and torment Nigerians in those ways. We are told now that Turji has moved to Issa local government in Sokoto State. That's where he's operating from now, collecting levy from people, terrorizing our people, killing people after taking ransom. They do not fear God. A lot of these people, you can see them, they are bearing Muslim name, but in the real sense, they are not Muslims. They are even animists. Yeah. They are just deceiving themselves. Bello Turji will sometimes, even on Fridays, go out to say he's going to pray. He just needs tremendous intelligence and extra efforts to take this boy out. But again, even if you take him out, there are still others who are more dangerous than him.
No, but if you take him out, you have taken something out.
You have to. It's a comprehensive war against them that I want to see.
Okay.
Same here.
It's a comprehensive war, not a war in which you are bombing them in Zamfara, but you leave those in Niger. It has to be coordinated. If we want to defeat these people, I've said it repeatedly, I don't know why it's difficult to implement. Carry out a coordinated war across all those contiguous states. Correct. They can't escape.
Correct.
They can't escape. There will be nowhere to escape. They will be begging for mercy. Because these boys too are cowards. I saw them inside the market in Briningwari, and I was tapping them. I said, now you are free. You've come into the market to buy things. This reke that you are eating, if it was in the forest, do you know how much they will sell it to you? I said, well, you feel free now. Even your women, when they are pregnant, now they can come into the market. Before now, you would think that the Air Force will come and bomb you if you come out of your forest.
We have company. The man is Omotaya, reaching us from Abeokuta in Ogun State. Taya, are you there? Welcome.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, then.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon,
I greet you.
You are doing wonderful work.
Thank you, Taya.
But what my suggestion is it possible for us not to be, making noise about these people? Let us silence them. We don't need to show whether we arrest people or not. Let us silence them. They are terrorizing the nation. We are still dealing with them in a civilized way. We have to combine the military force. We know where they are. So many times, Babajide will be talking about the Hangout, this and that. Yes, know where they are. Why is it not possible for us to go and treat them there and feed them there? They are our enemy. We treat them as our enemy. Then we can fight them like that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I think he's trying to say that we should not focus so much on them. I know people have called me to say, oh, sometimes we talk about ransom that is paid, that we should not talk about it. I do not see any sense in that. This is the extent to which they are terrorizing us. We have to talk about it.
But that is how we can.
We have to talk about it.
Gel up the security forces to do more.
People don't know what families are going through. When somebody tells you to go and bring 150 million, and you sold everything you had, okay, look at those parents. The university students that were kidnapped in Kaduna, one of them, the house that they had, the only thing that the man came out with, out of years of service, was that house. He had to sell the house to free his son. Oh. Some of those boys and girls were killed. So we will be deceiving ourselves if we do not admit that banditry is big business in our country, that bandits are making billions of naira. Some of them are going to Kano and other places to buy houses, and they will say they want to pay in cash. If anybody comes and he says he wants to pay for an 80 million naira house in cash, you should know, you should be able to investigate the person.
You should be suspicious.
Why does he not want to go to the banks? So these guys are making money and investing the money in our urban centers. It's a big, big business. We have to admit the truth. People who are kidnapped, those train passengers, they were made to pay 100 million each. I think the Pakistani amongst them even paid 200 million. Yes. Come on, there's no way.
I know somebody that friends have to gather money.
Yes, friends gathered money. So this is how big this thing is, and because it's this big, we must know that we are up against a very tough problem. We have to find a way. If we do not exterminate this guy, because I still believe that the efforts we are making are not enough. Let's know that we want to go to war. And thankfully, we know where they are. We can isolate them where they are, ensure that they don't escape, crush them. We've not found that, what do they call it? The political will.
Yeah, to want to do that.
To want to do that. We've not found that, and our people are suffering. The day we get up to say, okay, this is what we want to do, honestly, you see, they will be running helter-skelter.
Do you trust the army chief with the promise? His days are numbered.
I used to hear that even about Shekau. He took a rival leader.
Okay.
You know, Boko Haram was split into two factions.
Yeah.
It was Abu Musab al-Banawi that went all the way to where Shekau's camp was. He wanted to carry him alive because ISIS, Islamic State, said unite the two factions. That was the mandate that they gave him. You know, it was ISIS that actually named Abu Musab al-Banawi as leader of the group.
And not the other man.
They were tired of Shekau. They now said, okay, you from now. Because Shekau was just killing people unnecessarily. Somebody went to buy a motorcycle in Photocol in Cameroon. The next thing, you slaughtered him. So they got tired. I was killing fellow Muslims and all that. They now said, okay, we are going to pick this guy. He's the new leader of the group. I think in 2016 or so. Then later on, even Banawi was removed by his own people. There was a mutiny. So, but later on, they named him again as Amir of the group, and then gave him the mandate to go and unite
the group.
The group. He now launched an attack on Shekau. He said, "You coward! Today, I'm going to get you." Once Shekau saw that he had been surrounded, he used the suicide belt that he had. That was how he wasted his own life. Abu Musab al-Banawi was injured in that operation and eventually succumbed to his injuries. That's how those two iconic leaders of Boko Haram, eventually they are gone. Today they are still fighting one another. You read about factions of Boko Haram killing one another. A faction will come, seize wives of the other people, seize their women. Those ones will then launch an attack to try to free their women. Many of their fighters will die in the process. So this is where we are on the Boko Haram group.
Time to call their bluff.
So I said this because sometimes the most notorious bandits get killed by their rivals, not necessarily by the armed forces.
That's it.
Buhari Ndaji, who was the leader of bandits in Zamfara, was killed by Dogo Gide after he stole cattle belonging to Dogo Gide's in-laws. He left his corpse to rot in the forest, Dansadao forest.
Okay.
After that, we saw another bandit leader kill Sani Gote. Sani Dangote was the one in control of Shimfida area of Katsina State. That whole area was in his hands. He was the one who killed about 18 soldiers in one day. You know? So, but invariably, there was a conflict between him and another bandit leader. That one now went to his camp and killed him. I had done stories about Sani Gote. I even went close to his camp. I have videos of even his camp. He took over a government building, a school. He turned the school to his camp.
Okay.
So there's a lot of nonsense happening that we can't even be talking about here. So beyond even the quarrels among them leading to deaths of bandit leaders, we have to find a way, identify these guys, and kill them where they are. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, okay then. Again, our job is done. Let the debate continue. We'll go to our next story. You know, the statement that in politics, there are no permanent friends nor enemies, but permanent interests seems to have played out in Anambra State. A Labour Party chieftain and close ally of Peter Obi, Valentine Ozigbo, has jumped ship for the All Progressive Congress, APC. He said he resigned his membership of the Labour Party in line with his unwavering commitment to the greater vision of the state. The defection appears to have altered the political dynamics of Anambra State. Mayor?
Yeah, it's a very important development because the governorship election of Anambra State is on the horizon, and the state is in play. The state is in play because a lot of people felt Overa Soludo has not done enough, and there is problem within the Abga family, so he's not as strong as expected. So because of that, the state is in play. People believe that the election, it could be defeated and stop him from getting second term. If you notice, the top businessman, Okoko, was just also saying that he wants to rescue Anambra State and all that. And Ozigbo...
Rescue from
the hands of Soludo.
At the hands of Soludo, that's the normal thing, that you want to rescue the state.
Yeah.
And you know, I think what Ozigbo is trying to do is that Ozigbo is a strong force within the state, though in Labour Party with Obi. And you know, because of Mbada died recently, who is a very top person, you know, in a particular senatorial district, he has locked the senatorial district, the Inewi side, he has locked it down. And he has won election on a party that is not as strong as the major parties. And then he now defected to APC. So if not that he died, he probably will have ended up being the candidate, the APC candidate for the governorship election. So I think that what Ozigbo is doing is that he saw that opportunity to be able to have a platform that is strong, that has connection with the center, and that could swing the election to him, because I would not be surprised that now that's in APC, he will probably run for the governorship ticket. I would not be surprised. I think that is the attraction.
If the party gives him.
No, he will run. He will run for the governorship. He may not win the primaries. They're going to do primaries.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that will be primaries, but there's an opportunity there. And I think he wants to exploit that opportunity.
The APC had said, come and pick the ticket, pay 50 million.
Yes. So he will go there. 50 million is nothing to people like that. But there are other people within APC that also wants to run for governorship. But he sounds a good chance because he's a known popular politician.
Okay.
But leaving Anambra State, the state where Obi is from, shows that it's not sure that he can get that ticket in the Labour Party, and that if he can bring his own forces to join the forces in APC, maybe he stands a better chance of winning.
PKO, so here we go.
Yeah, this is a big blow to Peter Obi, who was presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election.
Yeah.
In 2021, Valentine Ozigbo contested against Soludo as the candidate of the PDP. Yes. And at that time, it was actually sponsored by Peter Obi.
Okay.
Yes, he was the candidate of PDP. In 2021, he contested and he was defeated. He remained close to Peter Obi. They were in the same party until Peter Obi left the PDP to contest the presidency on the Labour Party ticket. Now, this defection caught many people by surprise because they didn't believe that somebody that close to Peter Obi would go and join the APC of all parties. But just as Mayor said, many people believe that at this time, Soludo could be defeated. Don't forget that Soludo did not support Peter Obi, and he has come out to say Peter Obi even predicted that he would not win the election, that he will come fourth in the election. So there are many of Peter Obi's supporters who are not happy with that.
Yeah.
So even his own place is not guaranteed. Anything can happen. Just that's the way it is in Nigerian politics. So many of those big wigs in Anambra have already moved into the APC, which is a big shock to me, the rate at which they are moving into the APC. And he's from Aguata, the same constituency as the governor, Soludo.
Yeah.
Now, people like, let me talk about some of the big shots that have joined the APC. And I wonder what they are seeing. Sir Nicholas Ukachukwu, Professor Obiora Okonko, Dr. Paul Chukwuma, who is a former national auditor of APC, John Bosco Onoku, Chukwuma Omeoji, a lot of other political heavyweights, they are currently in APC. So when the national chairman of APC visited Anambra, he promised them a level playing field, that the party will ensure a level playing field for those who want to contest. So I guess a lot of them are encouraged now that by the fact that the party has promised that it will be a level playing field. So we are seeing more and more heavyweights defecting. But this is the biggest of them all in terms of the way the defection has rattled
politics in
Anambra, given how close. In fact, in the lead up to the presidential election, he served as Peter Obi's chief of staff. Yeah. So it was that close to him. So for him to have abandoned him in Labour now to join the APC was something that came as a rude shock to many people.
We are joined now by Brother Olani. He's at Surulere in Lagos here. Brother Olani, how do you do? I greet you.
Fine, thank you. Happy Sunday, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, sir. I've been trying on number. I just want to contribute on the conversation as regards the Evans and the Emefiele. I'm of the opinion that I'm begging Lagos State they should not accept his plea bargaining because Evans has killed a lot of people. What do they want the families of those people to be saying? They should just forget it. He had to take over all his property at the same time, let him face the wrath of the law. Then the same thing with Emefiele. Emefiele himself has committed a crime. He should face the penalty. A lot of people lost their life during the changing of the currency. Yes, I remember one woman, an old woman came to the bank and he couldn't get money. She said that the only one money on the high is 100. That's what he used to take down to the bank. He couldn't get money. I mean, she couldn't get money. She's a retiree. So, and she needs to buy drugs. So, what do you expect such people to do? And they should confiscate all his property and then let him face the road and even face the penalty.
Thank you. We got you first time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't think you should face that penalty. I know that people are hungry. I know that Emefiele didn't do well when he was governor of Central Bank. But we should not throw the baby with the bathwater. I think death penalty will be extreme.
That would be
that would be bad reaction. That would be bad reaction. Yes, yeah.
It's not even in our laws.
Yes, it's not even in our laws. Yes.
Please let's
if
take
it were China now.
Okay, let's take the Anambra saga.
Okay.
Home. Let's take
yes.
it home.
Okay. So, like we're discussing, it's because of the opportunities that people could see. Politicians like to go to areas where they could see opportunities.
Their bread is more butter.
It's just like when Obi left PDP for Labour. Labour was not a strong platform as at the time Obi joined Labour. But he saw an opportunity of being a candidate and he was able to do well. So people are seeing that opportunity because apart from APC being the ruling party, which
at the center,
which converts a lot of advantages one way or the other. You understand? Then there seems to be the Anambra state is in play. Anambra state is in play. So
Dudu had a swing state.
Yeah, it's a swing state now.
Okay.
Professor Dudu had a lot of issues, even in Abga. Apart from having problem, the anti-Igbo sentiment.
Abga is factionalized.
Yeah, Abga is factionalized. Even some key members in Abga, like the widow of Mochuku, is now fraternized. She's now a minister.
And besides, out of the 5 southeast states, Imo, Ebonyi are effectively APC.
Yes.
So if you have another party join.
Yes, because you see, PDP used to be very powerful in the east.
Yeah.
Southeast used to be like a PDP playground. That was the dominant party for a long time.
Yeah.
But now APC is making inroads, from Imo. They were only in Imo, but now they are in Ebonyi. You understand? There is rumor that even the governor of Abia,
Enugu,
Enugu is almost like an APC governor. So that is where to go. Politicians like to go where they know that they can have that comparative advantage.
Yeah.
So I think that is why a lot of these heavyweights are now in APC.
Yeah, BKO?
Well, I think that the election will be very interesting, given the high caliber of politicians who have now defected into the APC. There must be a reason they are all heading in that direction. But Governor Soludo cannot be reaching up at this time. Incumbency can be a very strong factor in any election.
Oh yeah.
So, but the election promises to be quite interesting.
Okay. Let's look at another issue. There appears to be apprehension and alarm, if you ask me, as farmers lament the drop in the prices of major staple foods, including maize, millet, and rice. The fear is that a continued drop in prices could discourage many from remaining in farming. The federal government has moved to reduce inflation, all right, even as the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has recorded a marginal drop in food inflation in December 2024. Again, an expert has touched on the aging farming population, which is certainly going to affect food production. BKO.
Yes, man is by nature selfish. Food prices are going down. Some farmers are not happy. They believe that they should earn a lot more. But the truth is, there is a bumper harvest in many states of the north as a result of improved security. And apart from that, many people now are dealing directly with crop farmers instead of allowing middlemen to dictate the prices of crops. So, coming during the season of harvest, we've seen that prices are going up. In fact, the business day survey that I monitored shows that brown beans price fell from 120,000 last year to 90,000 now. Groundnut, a bag
that's per bag.
Yes, a bag of groundnut dropped from 210,000 last year to 130,000 currently. A bag of millet was 80,000 2 months ago, but it's now being sold at 60,000. Soya beans a month ago was being sold at 40,000 naira, but is now 32,000 naira. In November, maize in Yola was 65,000 a bag, but it is now 50,000, some cases 53,000. So the farmers are talking about improved security, support from state governors, and the fact that those who hoarded grains are now being forced to bring them out because they can see the trend that prices are really going down. So the grains that they had hoarded, they are pushing them into the market now so that their losses can be minimal. So that has really helped to lower prices of commodities like onions, pepper, maize, rice, yam, Irish potato, beans, cassava, seed, millet, and even carrots. So I think that this is good news because I've seen so many newspapers reporting drop in food prices, especially in northern Nigeria. It's not business day alone. Even Daily Trust, I saw a good number of them have done some surveys which show that indeed these prices are coming down. And talking about the matter of the aging farming population, it's a big problem. But I believe that state governments need to do a lot more to entice and encourage young people to take to farming because there is a lot of money in farming now. I was sharing my experience with farmers that I spoke with when I visited their farms in the north. There's a story that I'm doing now about tomato farmers, women who are tomato farmers. Some of them are millionaires. 60% of the tomato farmers in the Maraban Jos area of Kaduna, they are women, and they are buying houses. They are sending their children to very good school. Illiterate women, you hear me talk to them. So, if there's any time for people to move into farming, it is now. Cocoa farmers too, in the southwest, they are reaping bountifully. They are buying jeeps, 70 million vehicles, which was not the case before.
Okay. All right, just to inform the viewer, Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, is having a workshop, on the Lagos-Calabar Highway project. So,
a stakeholder engagement.
A stakeholder engagement. Journalist Hangout will continue on our other platforms even as we take that. So you can see the live picture on your screen.
Okay.
So the engagement is going on between the minister and stakeholders regarding that expressway.
Will be addressed.
But then, Mayor,
We're interrupting this program to bring you a live telecast. Our regular programs will continue shortly. Please stay tuned.
Engineer Wednesday David, Commander Order of the Niger. His Excellency came with a number of dignitaries. But first, I would like to introduce your own daughter, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement, Moremi Ogudu. I would like to introduce the SSA to the President on Community Engagement in charge of Southeast, Barrister Choma Nweze. The SSA on Community Engagement to Mr. President in charge of South is also here, Gift Jambul. The directors in the Federal Ministry of Works are here, but I will, for want of time, mention a few. The director in charge of highways, design and bridges.